So they're doing the national anthem now, and then we'll start getting into the fights. Let's pull off the comment. So it does look like we have a 7-fight card tonight, so not a big card. We have 2 prelims, and then a 5-fight main card is what it looks like. So they did Hall of Fame inductions. Chad Mendez went in, and I didn't catch the second guy's name. I should know him. He was a UFC. Oh, we're actually 5 minutes away from the first prelim. We are still waiting. So, as we wait for the first prelim, I'm going to throw up the coming soon, the starting soon sign again. I'm going to finish building out the banners for the fights, and I'll be back. I am no longer muted. The first fight is now finally walking out to the cage. Should be this fight. Yeah, Brandon Olson just walked in. Again, 2-fight prelim. Those fights are available on the A1 Combat YouTube page. Link is down below. After that, we go to UFC Fight Pass for the main card. On commentary tonight, we got Michael Hernandez and Ben the Bane Davis. So fights to keep an eye on are the main and co-main. What's up, Craig? Main event. I think if Tina Black wins, if they don't sign Fatima Klein right to the UFC, that might be your contender series fight later this year. Tina versus Fatima. I believe Fatima was supposed to fight Tina in Invicta for the strawweight title. Had a leg injury, I think a knee injury. It was pulled out, and that's when Danny McCormick got the shot and won the title. If not, it was the other way around. She was supposed to fight Danny, got injured, but now she's the CFFC champion. Also, if you're a CFFC fan, huge card announcement tomorrow. Going to be a really great card for CFFC 131. Basically, 4 title fights. I won't say what they are. They will be in your inbox tomorrow and posted everywhere else. So. And you'll probably get an idea of what is going on with certain champions as well. So Luis Jauregui, or Jara, versus Brandon the Liverpool Assassin, I think his name is. Again, for this card is on a Thursday because tomorrow there's like 4 Fight Pass promotions running. So Tom Anderson moved the A1 card to tonight. Downside with that is you tend to get lower cards on Thursdays. Especially if you figure it is like 5:30 p.m. out in California. Yeah, the card's actually really good. I'm currently not covering CFFC for other reasons, but as far as a fan, the card is fantastic. We'll be doing a watch along tomorrow as well. I'm between Fury FC, LFA, and Cage Warriors. I do think it's between Fury and Fury and Cage Warriors because I did interviews with several fighters on both. If you have not seen those yet, they are on the channel. And unlike most media companies who have 8,000 plus followers, my numbers actually do well. And then if you didn't catch the start of the actual prelims, they inducted 2 fighters into the, I think it was the Tachi, I'm not sure if it was the top, I'm pretty sure it's the Tachi Palace Hall of Fame, not so much the A1 Combat Hall of Fame, since this is only show 18. Kind of stupid to have a Hall of Fame already, but makes sense for Tachi to have a Hall of Fame. Is annoying with both fighters both wearing practically the same shorts. It's one of your typical. That's what happens when you're both under Jason House and Iridium. You kind of get the same stuff sent to you. Leg kick battle so far. I want to say it was Brandon Olson got the takedown right away, but he's not in a good position right away. Nope, other way around. Oh, that was close to an illegal knee. Jauregui gets it back to the ground. All pro fights tonight as well. No amateur fights on this card, which tends to be the case. Amateur fights out there tends to be at 559, not too much on the A1 name. This is also a catch weight at, I think it was 165. There's a few fights that fell off, so I'm not sure if they're both, if both prelims are 165 catch weights or what is going on. Did get the fight card sent to me from Michael Hernandez, who's on the commentary tonight. Armbar. Brandon Olson gets the armbar. Pretty nasty armbar. I hope they don't have people wearing the same shorts again in other fights. It was really hard to figure out who was who. It's a good fight. Ben Davis out here playing on his phone while doing commentary. Yeah. Apparently he felt the need to respond to me as he was letting Michael do his talk. I would assume with 2 prelims we are getting post fights for each fight. Post fights should be done by Michael Hernandez tonight. I don't believe Bain is doing them. I also didn't see a tap, so I don't know if the ref thought the arm popped or what. Because I mean, the dude is not raising his arm, so it could have popped. But he's lifting it now, so I mean, still could have popped. But yep, there's the buddy. No, Livermore into Lemoore. It was a pretty good crowd reaction for what looks to be a pretty empty arena so far. It's kind of weird to be the opening fight and you're calling out the winner and or loser of the co-main. So Notch, I believe the next fight is Martine Sandoval versus Blake Decourcy. Will we get the replay? They're gonna be doing a lot of stretching. I don't think the main events or the main card starts until another 50 minutes. Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern. So an hour and like 75 minutes. And we only have 2 prelims, so This should be an interesting card. I don't know how they're going to stretch it. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do the 2 fights and then a half an hour intermission. If that's the case, obviously, when it goes to intermission, I will also be in intermission. I don't think you want to see me sit here and talk to myself and or you for half an hour. Yeah. So, I mean, the original card was 9 fights. So, I mean, if you would have started at 5:30 p.m. local time, you probably could have taken it pretty well, and it probably would have spaced out well. To then spread the pacing, they would have done more interviews or a little more analysis. Instead, they started at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. They went into the Hall of Fame induction, then the national anthem, and then a bunch of analysis to then not even do the first fight until about 8:30 p.m. But it'll be interesting to see how they pull this off. Knowing how some productions go, like the prelim times don't matter, but the start time for Fight Pass has to be at the time they say. Yeah, so we're going right into the second fight. We're going to definitely get an intermission. So these two did fight as amateurs. They are now fighting again as pros. Kind of stupid, but it is what it is. Decourcy does have a teammate and coach on this card. He trains with Jacob Rosales, who's married to Alondra Brown, who is now Alondra Rosales, obviously. That's how marriages work. Should be an interesting fight. When they fought in the originals, Martine did lose to Blake by decision. His only loss on his blemish or on his amateur career. Blake did go 7-0 as an amateur. If you haven't seen 559 fights, check it out on YouTube. Their production is insanely good. For a regional amateur promotion, they have like a hip hop music video guy who does their production, and the fights are recorded only with one camera, but it looks so clean. And I think I ask Michael Hernandez like every time. I don't know if they stream their cards live on YouTube, but they end up putting like all their fights on YouTube for free. They're fun. As far as regional promotions, I think they're my second favorite production. The first one is probably Combat Zone up in the Maine. Downside to the Combat Zone is they refuse to do Fight Pass because they will lose money that way. So they do a pay-per-view, which means like to watch a regional card, their pay-per-view streams are about $25 to $30 a pop, which I subscribe to too many subscription services to do that. Between Fight Pass and Spectation Sports, it's just not worth the extra $20 or $30 for a card. These are always fun though, because you get some fun matchups when you fall as an amateur and then in the pros. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm also curious to see which fucking fighter uses many men as a walkout tonight. So this card actually has a lot of 145ers tonight. So if you can figure out, there was a reason why the Ultimate Fighter is 145 and 185. Those two are looking for a little bit of change in the UFC, and you'll see that kind of spread across all promotions for the time being. So again, with the amateur rule set being different, I'm not sure if California runs like PA, and I believe it's usually the same: no elbows, no knees. So it'll be interesting to see if the same result happens here now that the full rule set of MMA is available to the fighters. Yeah, when they fought the first time, Martine Sandoval, who's in the red, was the winner in their amateur combat. Tachi Pal is, of course, legendary if you grew up watching WEC. Nice little stop leg kick with a stop check. Put Blake down right away. He just did a reverse somersault and got right back up. What's always interesting too with these amateur rematches on the pro side is you don't know if the guy who won the first time gets too comfortable because he did win the first time, or if the guy who lost the first time overextends himself to try to get that win back, especially now that the record actually matters. As I say that, Blake did get a pretty decent guillotine takedown to Martine. He is elevating him. I think Martine's going to get out of this. They might actually have this squared up. Oh, nice. He did get out of it. The Von Flu would have been funny. You see that happen a handful of times when the guillotine's in very tight. And this is again what I was saying, like that the whole overconfidence comes into play if you already beat the guy before. Now, mind you, when they fought at amateurs, obviously the rounds are shorter, and it's not like he finished him; he beat him by decision. So Sandoval is letting Decourcy kind of control the cage, though. I think after that guillotine, he does need to get some respect back from him now. Pretty smart move by Blake to kind of like force the entry. Now Blake is going a bit headhunting. He might be in a good spot to start feinting the up and then go for like a body kick or low level kick. And as I say that, he starts really nailing the leg kicks down. So Blake might get actually. It just keeps going as it's going. I mean, we're only a round into it so far. Nice little cage grab that no one saw that. If Martine can do it, he should have tried to suplex him away from the cage to get away from like the tag team partner in essence. And that left leg of Martine's going to be dead in round 2. Nice, right? Nice wizard. 45 seconds in the first round. Now they're talking to Ben's commenting on Martine being gassed, but I think nice head kick. I think after this one round or minute intermission between round 1 and 2, Blake may get an energy dump as well, especially as he starts chasing the finish here because Martine is very flat footed now already. Yeah, easy first round for Martine Sandoval. I'm sorry, Blake Decourcy. How do you spell this guy's last name? Martine Sandoval. I wouldn't even take it to the unless they're talking about. If I'm Decourcy, I'm going to basically push against the cage. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Blake's cardio, they were talking about how like Martine is getting tired. Blake's the one who's basically chasing the finish. And you figure this is their pro debut, so yeah, in the gym they're doing 15-minute rounds, but on the amateur they're doing 9 minutes. I also don't like the fact that A1 does the reverse. Yep, he's that's now gonna be the game plan, just nonstop leg kicks. Go right to it, right back to the leg. Even if he checks it, the leg's gone. Make him stand up. Fake a left, kick the right. Done. Referee, one more kick and the fight's over. One more kick. Done. Done. History repeats. Why do I? Oh yeah, so it is the same. I definitely messed that up. Yeah, see, this whole reverse of the colors is what throws me off. So Blake went 7-0 as amateur, um, beat Martine by decision in their amateur bout, and now goes pro with his debut. And that's the last of the prelims. There's now an hour of twiddling your fingers until the main card. So, just well fun. You figure the stream's been live for an hour. We've done 2 fights so far. This is how Saturday's gonna be for me. It's gonna suck. Um, I am doing the PFL card on Saturday. I assume I'm going to stream it. I do have a fighter interview. Yeah, a fighter interview before the card starts. So I'm going to be interviewing Elias Erber. He's in the IMAF European Championship over in Europe. That's where European championships are held. Do not know a lot about him yet. So, but I'm adding a handful of IMAF interviews after they reached out and kind of asked if I wanted to be part of it. So always fun to add promotions who are willing to work with you. No, you can't just call it by strikes. You have to give him the credit of by leg strikes. That leg strike finish is not as often as like strikes by finish. Like Decourcy, also an Iridium guy. Next week, also there is the one championship 166 guitar card. Pretty stacked. Downside there is I don't know if that's a. I'm assuming with it being 3:30 p.m. AST, it's probably like a 6 a.m. card in the U.S. So would be great if I had like a intermission panel instead of a starting soon. Let's see if I can make that real fast as Michael Hernandez wraps up this post-fight interview. Shout out to the Jersey Mike. What is going on with this? Thank you. Um, All right, let's see. If this works, we'll have an intermission. Let's see. Move that down there. Put that up there. Let's see if I can throw one of these in there. No, that looks terrible. So great debut for a Jordan Pippen. Yeah, so intermission until Fight Pass. So I will return at the top of the hour, which is literally in like an hour. So yeah, I will throw this up and then throw one of these guys in here too. I kind of wish I had that a little higher. But yeah, we'll be back. just going to chime in here because I'm going over the card. And thought it was kind of funny. They had a fight that was booked that fell off for tonight. It's against a Art Hernandez versus a Sergio Quinones. Art Hernandez 4-7. Obviously not the best fighter. Welterweight out of Fresno. Fought pretty much at Tachi Palace Fight Nights. Fought down in Mexico at Lux Fight League. And currently on a 6-fight losing streak. So his last victory came back in 2018. He was supposed to fight, like I said, Sergio Quinones. Sergio is 14-29, riding a 5-fight losing streak, and has not had a one since a DQ in 2022. Prior to that, he won a decision in 2019. This is what you gotta love about some regional MMA. Like, what are you doing booking that fight? And like, where would you put that? Is that like, do you put that on a prelim in hopes that grabs someone's attention? Or do you put that on the main card and waste a slot for someone who has potential? Like, what are you doing? Like, to give an idea, and I won't leak it yet. There's an interesting matchup that gets announced tomorrow. All right, we got 4 people in the chat now. Apparently, let's see if that's just real numbers or if it's fucking up and giving me fake numbers. And it's at least not showing me anyone in the chat itself, but going over the rest of the card, though, we already got baked Decourcy. We got John Buttner versus Brock Diaz coming up in the opening bout. Brock Diaz 3-1 out of Tulare, California, riding a 3-fight winning streak. Started his pro debut with a loss down at Cavante. 1 in Fury, 1 in UNF, and then 1 in A1 Combat. Did his amateur career through 559. He faces John Buttner, who's 2-1. Team Alpha Male product. 2-1 in his pro career. Did his amateur career mainly through King of the Cage. Starting back in 2014. Went pro in 2018. Took 3 years off, then took a year off, and then now coming off almost a 2-year layoff. So obviously not the most dedicated to the sport. Should be an interesting starting main card fight. That we go into a Jose Avalos versus Johnny Robles. Johnny out of Downey, California, riding a 5-3 record on a 1-fight streak. Did his proof. He's been around the block a few times. He actually was supposed to, or he's apparently booked not only on this card, but he's also then booked for a fight in April already too. Always interesting when fighters book out ahead of time. He was on the terrible Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz card. He was an amateur back then in 2018. That was the third bout that no one needed to see. So he fights Stillmatic Jose Avalos, who's 7-4. 7-4. He's been through A1, Fury FC, LFA, Combate, Tachi fights. Been around the block. No notable names on his record. Comes off as a loss. That's really interesting. But let me get into some of the better ones. Dana White Contender Series alumni Jacob Rosales, 15-8 record, riding a 2-fight winning streak. He got bumped to the main event last time out in December against Kevin Bohm. Beat him by a left hook in round 1. Got a round 1 finish to fight before that as well. After losing his LFA return. Prior to that, he's lost to Victor Martinez on Contender Series and Jonathan Pierce on Contender Series as well. He's back on the radar. him and his wife are both on the radar of the UFC. Both looking to kind of make a name for themselves. Again, he's out of the den. He fights Erick Sanchez. Erick Sanchez is 11-7 out of Team Alpha now. Off a loss. Been out since last April. He did beat James Lynch, not James Lynch the journalist, but James Lynch the fighter back in Cage Warriors. They went through Kabate. It was a Bellator. So good fight for Morales, or if he can pull the win off. Then we get Art Hernandez. I'm sorry, that's the one that I was making fun of. Then we go into our title fights. Title fights should be pretty good. Anthony Figueroa is on the radar. And then in the main event, like I said, Tina Valesca Machado versus I forget the other girl's name, but if Tina wins, she should probably be on Contender Series, if not signed directly. I really think her versus Fatima Klein is one to make, but they might hold out on that a little bit. Let them both kind of grow in the promotion and then see where it goes from there. So we still got 25 minutes. I'm going to pick a different song because I'm sick of hearing that rock little diatribe. So we'll go with some acoustic cinematic for the time being. I have never been more proud to turn off a song in my life. I really need to upload like real music to hear. I just don't know where I have my uncopyrighted stuff at to upload. So Guard is now opening up on Fight Pass. They're doing the whole intro. They went over about the previous fights, like Chelsea Chandler's sister doing a comeback. As I said, once we go to Fight Pass, the pacing goes from Bellator PFL to real ones. So we actually do get regular pacing. We're going to start off though with the little like hat tip to Chad Mendes going to the Hall of Fame, etc. Taylor Mauldin versus Tina Black is a fun one though. Taylor was doing Medusa, I believe. You can't really make a big deal about Taylor being undefeated. She has like 4 wins. Yeah, 4-0. 4-0, and she's beaten a 4-2, a 2-0, a 1-2, and a pro debut. Like, it's not that big of a 4-0. Machado, Tina Black is 12-4. She has as many losses and 4 times as many pro fights. Were there even odds on here? I know odds never opened up on my betting books, but I would assume you'd have to just assume at least, right? That Machado has to be like a crazy favorite. Yeah, Machado is a minus 240 favorite. That makes sense. I don't hate that at all. Buttner. Buttner. So we got John Buttner 2-1 versus Brock Diaz 3-1. If we had betting lines on US Sportsbook, they are available on betonline.ag. John Buttner is a plus 170 underdog with Brock Diaz a minus 210. And this is what I like too. So even though John Buttner is a Team Alpha Male fighter, he's not the favorite because they do not favorite their own fighters. Slava Claus in the corner. Ooh. Tabitha Ricci versus Tisha Torres. Alrighty, so both 28, 3-1 versus 2-1. 4-inch reach advantage for Buttner. Hey Ben, we got a lot of you on the hot mic going on. So this should be a under 1.5 fight, if you're asking me. I would even say probably the first round fight. I mean, Slava Claus could be a championship kickboxer, but he's not in the cage. He's a corner man. Yeah, Brock's gonna push the pace the entire time. Ooh, proving me wrong so far. Nice underhook. Brock plus 170 for the John Buttner. He's not getting anything with this underhook though. Like this is just a waste of time. He's not really putting much weight on him. He's just kind of just holding him and yanking up the arm. Yeah, there you go. Start doing the knees. It does say we're going to have Chad Mendez and Uriah Faber for the remainder of the card. I don't think the editors are going to keep me up enough. Had a crazy day at work. Pretty exhausted. Brock needs to get the respect back. This is Buttner getting him off his feet with the leg kick and then kind of just controlling everything else since then is basically getting him where he needs to be for this fight. Nice leg kick again. There you go. Yeah, that was a fuck up. Nice elbows. $50. Go for the neck. Got some blood going on now too. I mean, the thing is, you got to figure Buttner is a team alpha male, so he's probably doing a lot of grappling. But Diaz may have taken that round back there. I wouldn't be against a 10-9 Diaz at that point. Buttner looked better when he had the leg kick out and all that, but those elbows came a bit better. And he went down bad on that leg too. Nice head kick. I like to see Buttner in like a Muay Thai match. I mean, if he was on the East Coast, I mean, maybe when CFC Muay Thai does Vegas in June, that could be a fun one if he does that. Like, he has a really nice Muay Thai stance. He probably has Muay Thai backing. But I mean, this fight started off really good, and oh, Diaz's left leg. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts misstepping, a la Sugar Sean versus Cheeto One. It's like that nerve that just like it pulses. This is not going how I thought, but when they have the action moving forward, this is a fun fight. But when they start just like not delaying or even just avoiding action, it's just not a fun fight. Like you're not getting this takedown. Neither one of you are getting takedowns right now. And Brock just looks tired. And he has to keep moving around because that left leg is done. That left leg is done. That's why. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think Chad is right. Not Chad. Uriah is right. It should be a 1-1 going into the third. Yeah, I would say 1-1. You could justify. You could say this is 2-0 Buttner. If I'm Buttner, I'm going right for that left ankle. Because, I mean, Diaz is a conventional fighter. He doesn't want to be southpaw. You have to make him southpaw. Kick that leg. John has no reason to. Yeah, like, dude, I really thought this was. I was hoping because, like, this fight, I think the next one are just two I don't care about. And then from there on, like, the last three are decent. Obviously, the two title fights, the Jacob Rosales fight. It's also weird to like be watching fights on a Thursday because like I want to like enjoy watching them, but it's like I'm not gonna sit here and. I mean, I have a beast in front of a beast, so I could like it's an alcoholic monster, but like I don't want to. I already drank one monster. I don't want to drink another monster with alcohol. Um, I just so I'm drinking water, which is like yay fights. But of course, we're drinking water a good like half gallon since the fight started. I'm gonna take a piss break after this fight anyway, so intermission sign's gonna pop up real fast too. Yeah, see, like Thursday is like it made sense for like Invicta because Invicta would do like 5 fight cards on YouTube, but they would start around like 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, well, like, I mean, technically, like I can enjoy my tutti frutti, not what this is, hey, but like, so yeah, you can kind of figure out what that is. Usually, I get away with these streams because I usually have like a can of gummies, but I haven't made it down to Maryland. I had a lighter in here. Oh, there it is. So Diaz doing what he needs to do this round now. Diaz with a minute remaining. Yeah. This might go split. There we go. Kept basically burning my finger every time I try lighting it. Yeah, I think Diaz with his control could have taken round 3, which if you went with me and gave him round 1, like Diaz might still win this, but you can't be mad if they gave Buttner round 1 and 2. No, they were pretty obvious who they were. Uriah. Second round was definitely Buttner. I mean, yeah. Again, I want to say I feel confident that Diaz has this 2-1. So as much as I hated how slow the times this fight was, like the worst part is all Buttner had to do was go back to that left low kick because Brock's leg was out. I thought I was still muted for a second too. I didn't see it blinking. No, not a chance. There's not a 30-27. Not a chance. No. Like I wouldn't be mad if he won 29-28, but like the first round could have gone either way. I guess the third round could have gone either way. Because, I mean, I guess only the 29-28s were 2-1 also. But I don't know if I like that. So, next fight is Johnny Robles versus Jose Avalos. It's a bantamweight fight. It's the lowest weight on this card, so could be one of those fast ones. Let's see, that is. I can delete that one. All right, yeah. So the two fights that were supposed to be, or were actually the next two, so that's why they're gone. Johnny Robles is 5-3. Jose Avalos is 7-4. Pretty even. Bantamweight, so it could go either way. But let me go take a piss because the water is going through. Be right back. I'm not going to put the music on this time, though. How do we get to Fight Pass and already are at one fight in and at a commercial? What in the PFL? I do want to know the song that they keep playing. I'm assuming it's probably something like local. Oh, Netflix, they call me a god. And I'll bookmark that. I actually like the beat of that song, so I'm curious to see if his other songs are as interesting. It should be this fight. So for this, we have like a featured fight and then the two title fights. This is the weirdest shit. So there's actually a guy who fights for LFA in April, I think. I don't know why I'm saying a thing. I can just look it up real fast. Um, yeah, so there's a guy who fights this Saturday for 247 Fighting Championship in Pennsylvania. Um, he fights that, but then he's booked for LFA on March 29th. Like, that's just, I've seen so many people try to do these like double bookings and it never goes their way. Nice little cupping job on his left side. I can't wait to get back into having cuppings. Actually, both sides. His back must have been really, really tensed up. And yet again, more Iridium fighters because you can tell because they wear the same shorts. $137, so not even bantamweight. Yeah, so what happens is Iridium will send you your shorts usually. Normally they usually have more than one pair though. It's like they have the red one and then they have a white one. If you go back to a CFFC 123, Jose Perez had the white ones on. I just don't know if you get to pick it or if it's just like they do it for you. But this is what happens when like Jason House and Company runs like regional MMA. You get so many people from the same agency fighting each other. Like it's even worse if you start doing the math on a contender series. So I thought I saw the same last name. Clay Guida also just got the hair transplant, so I mean, you can't really compliment Clay Guida's hair. Yeah, Guida got it down. I forget what country he went to. Pretty sure he posted it on his Instagram, so it's not me just saying things. Ooh. This dude does like way too many fishing trips and all that. Maybe he didn't. Because his post is actually for Bosley. But I could have sworn he got a transplant as well. Yeah, it looks like it was just Bosley. But I could have swore I saw him post a picture of the whole drawing the stupid lines and shit. That's one thing. Everyone's been going to Turkey. That's why, like, he stood out because I was like, you really want that fucking like semi mullet still? Because like what Cerrone did it, Arad did it. Oh, nice head kick. Yes, I mean, at least good first round for blue corner. This referee reminds me of like I, it's gonna sound mean, but like John Morgan with like um Francis from Pee Wee Herman. That elbow hurt. So was it Robles who had the fight booked already? Yeah, so um Robles has a fight with Cage Warriors, Northwest, which is out in Vancouver, Washington, next month. And the thing is, so even here, like Jose's not out of this fight yet. He does find a way to get like, some respect back. Nice leg kicks. No, that was a terrible head kick. If he had a question mark kick, that would have worked, but just a straight head kick like that he did was stupid. Jabbing at the air. Oh, wow. Right into a leg hook? Oh, no. Nice little scramble, though. I'm also curious to see like what kind of mat they have. It looks like it's like a plastic mat. We used to watch like CFFC cards like from 106 on. A lot of times they were slipping on the mat. I think they changed the canvas that they used. I know they just got a new cage of the 129 card, but for a while, like whatever mat surface they used, you constantly saw people slip over. If you go back and watch, it's whatever card was Greg Velasco versus Kevin Sears. I think I also had the Josiah Harrell versus Tracy Reeder fight on it a few times. Like people straight up slipped on the logos. Nice standing guillotine. So I guess he can do his fight next month. He was? Uh, yeah, even no. Johnny Robles was minus 130. Both him and his brother are favorites. Minus 130 and minus 144, unless like odds swifted. Yeah, remember, if you're going off of like where their names are placed on the play card at the bottom, A1 doesn't reverse. Red's on the right side, blue's on the left. But at least worked out for him. He fights March 23rd. He can go make that fight and took really at least visually no damage. Oh, see, this is the thing. Like, I'm in an argument on Twitter right now about someone doing a betting challenge, but you can't. The whole theory is to do like $100. You pick every fight on a card for 3 months, and whoever has the most money wins. But I'm like, what odds are you using? Are you using like opening odds? Are you using closing odds? What if are you bringing in live odds? Um, Plus, if you're no bet, no one who bets actually like bet is betting every fight. You might be taking 3 or 4 fights on a 15 fight card, and so I just keep going back and forth too because I'm like, if I catch someone who I want to win at plus money, I'll go bigger than I would normal. I don't understand it, and yeah, I spent almost the last hour debating this. I'm like, get throwing different scenarios. Like, yes, as far as like Vegas is concerned, every better is a losing better. Because if you were to bet every single fight, you're gonna lose. Because I think, but you pull my Tapology, I think over the years, the ones I actually remember to submit on there, I think I have a 66 to 72%, maybe even closer to 50-50 at this point. Um, it's just hard. Like, I don't know. Like, I get where the guy's coming from. He's trying to basically just point out that people who sell picks, like you're probably never winning. That's why you're selling picks. apparently the guy's not fighting next month. He's fighting in April. So like, alrighty. So our next fight is. Are we at the featured fight already? Yep. We are now going to Erick Sanchez versus Jacob Rosales. Jacob Rosales came off. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Both fights by a first round finish. Erick Sanchez, I think he's on a coming off a loss. Yeah, a loss last time out. Lost to Ayadi Majidine by rear naked choke in round 2. Did beat James Lynch the fight prior. The James Lynch fight was November of 2022. So he came back from that fight, fought in April of last year, and has been out since then. Erick Sanchez is a Team Alpha Male prospect. Bred for battle, just looking to see. I was hoping to see if he was. Just assuming. I just assume anyone that's on this card is probably a Instagram fighter, or not Instagram. Iridium fighter. Eric Gomez looks to be not a. Yeah, doesn't look to be an Iridium fighter. It actually can't even tell who he's managed by. Trains with combat jiu-jitsu guys. Has fought for Bellator. Has a pretty sweet ass dog. Well, that just blew my ear off. Fuck you, ad. Yeah, beat Lynch by like TKO also. I guess I could leave this up because we had Fight Pass ads before the fight. This ad is so annoying. This commercial again. I now have at least a song. Found the LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, the YouTube link for this song. I am a god. Another one tomorrow. In addition to all the other MMA tomorrow, there also is Karate Combat. Karate Combat along with the Submission Pit. I think they even have an influencer fight as well, because why not? All right. What do you mean you're... I love when Fight Pass keeps telling me apparently they could not charge my... Oh, does it not use a backup? All right, so this fight could go either way. Odds have it as far as the opening, odds have Jacob Rosales as minus 180 with Erick Sanchez the plus 150 favorite. Again, just showcasing again that even though this is Urijah Faber's A1 combat, Tom Anderson does not give the alpha male guys like layups. They still get competition. Jacob Rosales. So I think Jacob has come out pretty fast here. If he lets Erick get his ground, it won't be a fun night for him. Featured fight, so it is only 3 rounds. Habra. Alrighty. Feature bout starting off now. Jacob Rosales versus Erick Sanchez. Again, Erick Sanchez is a Team Alpha Male prospect. Jacob Rosales out of the den. Rocking the BJPen.com fight shorts. I'll take a little headbutt, but whatever. See, these punches are going to like the back of the head. I mean, it's not illegal because of how they're being thrown, but Jacob is getting clipped where he shouldn't be. And Erick's nice knee. Maybe it's not the BJ Penn fight shorts, but it's usually those fight shorts that BJPen.com does for sponsored fighters. Tracy Reeder had the similar pair against his fight against Josiah Harrell. Terrible fucking guillotine grab. Yeah, Jacob needs to get up. He can't just lay there. 3 minutes, not even like wet yet. I wouldn't want to burn him, like blow it all out, but Erick, when he has him against the cage, should just be firing. So far, Jacob has nothing to respond with. Run. Yeah, Rosales just needs it to be just a little more clean. Jacob needs to just. I mean, he still has about 90 seconds. I don't want to say just take the loss in this round. Because Erick's not being pressured, who he's not getting tired. Nice little head kick though, as I say that. Nice takedown. Rosales is going for the guillotine. It's not in. He's going ninja. He's like desperately going for this, and that's a weird angle to be holding it at. He does have a minute left. He's out of it. Yeah. This is the Joe Rogan approach. It looks like it's really tight. Yeah, this is terrible fight IQ for Erick Sanchez right here. Make him stand. What are you doing? Make Rosales stand. Thank you, ref, for doing the job. Like if Erick's leading it on the feet and not really getting anything thrown back at him, why wouldn't you want it back on the feet? I mean, sure, you can get clipped, but that was back of the head. And that was like, unlike the other back of the head ones, that was he was turned away from him and he's punched straight. Looked like they were more concerned about him punching after the bell, which he was already in process. Do like that Jacob's not sitting, stay standing. If he doesn't get something that makes the respect come back right away, though, it's not going to go well. Oh, that's the thing. Like when Jacob gets messy and just runs in, he gets hit. And this is kind of how his like contender series stuff has gone too. Like he gets all these roles, he gets like in the eyes of people, and he just has a fight where he just does not do anything. Nice elbow. I mean, the lead elbow makes sense if you keep when he rushes in, he leans in with his face. Why not have the elbow there for him to headbutt? Yeah, Erick is like looking very well. Yeah, Erick's is looking really good. Yeah, Jacob's just wearing the damage at this point. Ooh, great left. He's doing a great job of blocking the punch with his face, though. Jesus Christ. With these shots landing, I am surprised we're probably going to hit a third round. Well, the thing is, like Uriah says stuff like that after he does like a roundhouse that barely lands. Because like Sanchez doesn't even look tired. Eye poke. Jesus, he's fucking. Rosales knows he's hitting the point where he's not winning on his scorecards. That's the thing. Like, every time I think there's going to be a finish, it doesn't come. It just. I mean, ideally, because of like being a fan of Jacob's wife, like I would love to see Jacob just clip him and get the win, like right there. Jesus, that right. I mean, it doesn't help that as Jacob's now coming in, he's still just getting jabbed. Oh, it's fucking barked at him. I mean, that's the thing. If he just lasts the minute and 45, he's fine. And he has the movement still. That he's not. Jacob's kind of like not overthrowing, but isn't being as clean as he was when he was touching him. Nice lefts. Like Jacob really needs to get these feints down. He's not biting on anything yet, so knees. Jesus. This should just be a nonstop throw until one of them goes down. I mean, you have nothing to lose. You're gonna lose. Just go balls. Little. What are you fucking? Why are you shooting? Why are you shooting? Like, are we not getting a bell? 10-second time. I mean, that was like 17 minutes. No, I don't understand that. Yes, I mean that's a plus 150 winner for Erick Sanchez. Yeah. So I mean, you figured 29-28. I wouldn't complain if it was a 30-27. Like Jacob's best spots were probably in the sixth minute of round three. Yeah. All right, title fights time. So we got the lightweight title fight first, and then we go to the women's strawweight. Not amateur career. MK, MLH. It's not an AMI record. But I think that pretty much seals the deal on Jacob, though. Be 15-9 to 24 pro fights, 2 attempts on the contender series, like 3-0 in Bellator. You can maybe try to get into like the featherweight season when they open that back up again because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. But we don't need replays. It's 11:33 p.m. Eastern. You can go right to the title fights. Anthony Figueroa. So this is a 4-0 versus a 3-1. 4-0 on Anthony Figueroa. 1-0 in Bellator. Anyone overseas, and then is 2-0 under the A1 banner. Um, trains at Ant Dogs MMA, which sounds familiar. Makes sense as his brother is Anthony Figueroa. Anyone else there that I know? Jacob Speedy Gonzalez. I've seen him. Where did he? Maybe I didn't see him. Name sounded familiar though. Does train with Justin Diehard McLean. It's a name that I believe he retired. And then the opponent, Christian Avalos, his brother, is one that fought earlier out of the Throne MMA in Fresno. 2-0 in A1, 0-1 in LFA. Both wins in A1. Actually, all three of his pro victories have come by first round submission. And all but one of his AMI fights was won by finish as well. So I don't think we get a decision in the next fight. I would say decision probably in the women's fight, but we'll see. All right, buddies, it's 11:37 p.m. Let's get into the co-main. Another commercial. Jesus Christ.
We just released.
So I was starting to like this song, but I'm already sick of it.
Welcome to your.
About time. Alrighty. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we had a basically fire issue at the end of the workday that we kind of solved, but we're gonna have a rush in the morning. I mean, I can't complain. I don't start until 9 p.m. Eastern, but and by that I usually don't. I mean, that's usually me logging in and saying, "Hey, I'm here," but usually not starting or go until like 10. So I'm hoping this one goes fast. But like I said, I have a feeling the main event's going to be a decision. But yeah, that's see what sucks is like I don't want to stop and be like, "Hey guys, I'm going to bed," and I go throw this up on the projector until I fall asleep. But we'll see. Dude, start walking to the cage. I mean, looking at 3 hours and 42 minutes of streaming, I'm assuming this is not going to wrap up for another like 40 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bail. I'm gonna end this early. I am back tomorrow night with I think Fury FC is what I'm gonna go with. Probably do Fury as the main, and then just do secondary screens when fights of people I've interviewed are up. Again, I think I only see one person in here still. If you're looking for interviews of fights that are coming tomorrow, there's a few through Cage Wars, the Devin Goodell, Orlando Sanders. I think that's all of the Cage Warrior ones. I had like Bobby Winters scheduled, but I had a family issue that day and never got around to rescheduling. For Fury, I have Julius Holmes in the main event. I have his opponent, Aaron Phillips, who was on Tough 29, Team Volkanovski. His interview's up as well. So both members of the main event. And then I have Jarrett McLaughlin, who his one feeling he mentioned in the interview was that he never gets the eyeballs or featured on a Fight Pass, and he finally got his fucking Fight Pass. Not only a Fight Pass article, but TJ Sanchez also interviewed him as well. So it was cool to see him get the spotlight that he wanted and deserved. Coming on, I think tomorrow, probably I'll do my video on if Bellator and PFL pricing for their pay-per-view is too high, which it is. Breaking down pretty much where they should be pricing it, where they are pricing it, and the state of pay-per-view models that when you're not the UFC. That should probably come tomorrow, if not Saturday. Saturday, I interview a guy from the IMAF European Championship. That will probably come out Tuesday. Monday, interview with Mark Gray. 6-0, undefeated. That's hence 6-0. Bantamweight prospect that's going for his first professional title at Ring of Combat 83 on March 1st. That will drop Monday. I have a few interviews lining up now, and then I'll be adding in a bunch of interviews leading into March. So I'm going to cut this one early. Co-main event is up now. If you are watching, enjoy the fights. I just have an early work day tomorrow, so I'm going to call it a little early. Thanks for tuning in.